We are now getting ready for this important match. It's going to be the fourth one in the semi-final between Hong Kong, China and Chinese Taipei. It's a 34-year-old against a 16-year-old. Wong Chun Ting of Hong Kong, China, a vastly experienced player, taking on a promising youngster from Chinese Taipei, Guo Guan Hong, who's only 16 years old, ranked 67th in the world. And Wong Chun Ting is ranked 48. This has been some comeback by Chinese Taipei. Truly.
Great calling toss. That got black.
These players, from a distance I can see Chinese players are getting up ready for the next battle with Japan. And
this is again going to be an interesting contest. You've got the 16-year-old Guo, who's a left-handed player, and then you've got Wong, who's of course famous for his pen holder grip. So a variation of sorts now that we are going to see this.
I'm going to see experience versus the youth energy here. Wong, who is much more experienced, had set the right tone and pace for Hong Kong and would be expected to win this match, to equalize the score. A lot of hopes from Guo. A good start for Hong Kong with the first point. Okay, Wong came back from the backhand, well defended, and that's the power of pen hold. You could defend the ball from anywhere so easily.
The veteran is setting the tone early on. He has taken this lead 3-0, and you can just see the finesse in the veteran's movement. But don't count out the youngster just yet, of course. Adjusted well, adjusting very well. What a rally, what a rally, and ultimately it looks like towards the end the ball just died down a little bit towards Guo. But for a long time, although Wong was controlling that rally, you could see that Guo had the spirit and the ability to continue to return those.
Yes, absolutely, but not for long, because Guo is not getting the balls that he wants. The ball is not completely getting the hold of the racket, and Guo wants to play a bit more aggressive. But let me remind you, Wong's forehand is very strong. You cannot pass through that ball so easily, and Wong is setting the right tone.
You spoke about forehand, and now he's just shown you the backhand as well. How strong was that?
It was pretty punchy for that pendulum service.
That is the strong forehand that you were talking about. Really, the youngster couldn't have done a lot about that one.
Looks like that the first game is almost like a cakewalk for Wong.
Just lobbed off the net and then putting it across to get that winner. But he puts his hand up because in the midst of that rally, he was helped by the net.
Love 9.
Now the question is, are you going to show some mercy for the youngster and maybe give him that 1 point?
Mercy can't be given in semi-final. Had it been some other round, it could have been. But yes,
He has.
Oh, Wong has a heart of gold. And with that first game,
11-1.
that this is a golden game for Hong Kong because they have to defend their presence in the game. Has gone to Hong Kong, China. A good confident start, good setting up the tone.
I wouldn't say only good. I would say it's a great start. Just because you were under pressure coming into this match. Already having lost the last 2 games and then turning to their veteran Wong Chun Ting, the 34-year-old. Well, he has really turned it on with that and put the pressure on Kuo. Kuo, he's of course played 288 matches coming into this Asian Championship. He's got to really gather himself and then move into the second game. Well, quite often if a youngster faces this kind of a defeat against someone who's a veteran,
Second game.
what would you tell a youngster to compose him so that he can approach the game in front of him in a lot more confident, in a more confident manner, I would say.
I would definitely reply to that question, but right now, oh, Wong missing that point. Good start for Kuo. All I would advise to young kids who have lost is playing to the veteran, and even if veteran is beating them hands down, don't lose onto the focus. Just keep focusing on every point and try to maintain your grit in the game. Do not put down your body language, do not put down your shoulder, because that is only going to help the opponent, not you. So brick by brick, build onto the grit.
Very well said. And also, it just makes me wonder, when Tomokazu Harimoto had beaten Ma Long and all those veterans, what would his mindset have been like? Because even to go there and achieve that, it's a stuff of dreams, but to do that so young, I mean, his mindset would have been something else altogether.
So first of all, yes, you rightly said that the mindset was of a warrior since starting, because both the parents play table tennis and it's in the family, it's in the genes, both mother and father coming from China. So obviously they knew the art of fighting, art of grit, art of playing a tactical game, role of fitness, role of discussing the table tennis appropriately on the dinner table. So obviously you play a lot more outside, so you develop that mindset. Unlike somebody who is just playing, coming from a non-playing family, there's a little more mind work to cover up. Oh, Kuo was flying in the air for that edgy, soft push that Wong had done. Good that Kuo is fighting. You could see when you're fighting brick by brick, point by point, you could get some bonus points by the opponent. And another point, good service, good length.
Yes, very
Applaud
good.
and applaud from the coaches and the fellow players, even if they know that Wong has an upper hand.
It was a very good length there initially, but now
See?
once again, just as the ball came towards him, he tried to block it. It's gone down towards his own side there, Wong. And Kuo, he only won 1 point in that first game, manages to get 5 here already, only 2 points behind the veteran. Now he's only a single solitary point behind Wong.
Play 7-6.
Yo, coming back in the game. Kuo, good one. You equalize the lead. Applaud for him. Applaud for the young kid, for the grit that he has shown, for the confidence he has shown on himself.
This is a rally that really kept you in tune and transfixed watching that. And ultimately, it was Wong who got that.
Yes, absolutely. But Kuo knew that he had to come forward to block that ball. Good one. You could see the roar coming back from the Wong. He had lost the momentum, gained it. 2 points in a row.
Yes.
9-7, Wong to serve to
Yes.
get one more point, one more game.
Yes, 2 points in a row. Now that roar gets louder because it's going to be game point yet again. This time, no mercy. He could have only done that in the first one because your opponent's only 3 points behind you. And Wong, the veteran, 2-0 up against the youngster, keeping Hong Kong China alive here and seems to be on course to equalize matters. Hong Kong China. The coach, as you can see him on screen, would have been a little bit disappointed with the way that the other two games panned out just after Wong had played the first one and set them off on a winning run. But no time to look back at the past. You just have to look back. In fact, look ahead to the future. You've made errors, try and make amends and ensure that you stay alive in this particular match. First step, win this game in front of you. A good start there by Kuo. Let's see that powerful forehand. He manages to open his account early. Now that's not something that we've seen in this match so far. But Wong gets one back soon. One apiece.
Kuo is playing a little mature strokes here. He knows that Wong is pretty strong on either side, so he's playing a lot more spinnier and a parabola shot. Oh, Wong was absolutely ready for that spinny backhand. The game has become faster and faster. There's a time that players used to wave and block such kind of a ball, but now tactics have gone completely changed and there's a timeout. Good tactic.
Yes, it was needed just to get the kid back in front of you, and at this critical juncture, maybe just try and slow the pace of the game. You just spoke about how the game has become faster. In fact, you look at sport overall, it's just that sport has become faster in general because obviously technology has come in, athletes, conditioning, nutrition, everything has changed for peak human performance. So across different sport you will see that. But if there's one thing that I can remember, a record that has really stood the test of time, at the 1968 Mexico Olympics, Bob Beamon had set the record, world record for long jump, and that has still not been beaten. So imagine it's over 50 years and Bob Beamon's record still stands. But other than that, if you look across all sport, you will see records have kept changing, the marks have kept improving, and of course the bar has kept raising.
Yes, you always have an aggression stories, and aggressions are also required so that one can know the possibilities of the human emotion, human possibility. So it's you rightly said that. Wong absolutely speechless, not allowing this time Kuo to take over. Any more careless points here? Kuo to serve. This time managed to get the space onto the down the line forehand. Wong replied to that ball as well. He flew in the air.
Left,
8-1. Tough lesson for the kid. Oh, beautiful backhand there by Wong. Pretty punchy onto the forehand.
Yes, he's moving ahead. And just to actually correct myself a little bit, Mike Powell in 1991 had managed a jump a little bit longer than Bob Beamon. still an Olympic record though.
So with that point, Hong Kong's hopes are alive. Wong, 1 over, 3-0. Great win by Wong. Great courage by young kid there. A lot of homework he has got by this experienced player there. Such a powerful game. Now it's 2-all. It's a true semi-final. Let's see who is moving up the food chain. The final round of the final. Don't go anywhere. There's a lot of excitement coming up after this game. The second semi-final between Japan and China. So grab the popcorns, grab your tea or coffee or whatever you want to have.
Read more about table tennis on my blog, pingsunday.com. Get free ebook and coaching advices. See you in the next video.